Alright, this is the Algebra 2 regular video for the 3-1A homework, solving systems using graphs and tables. I will probably do an Algebra 2 advanced a little later, but I'm trying to wrap this up before I leave the school here in just a few minutes. So we're going to take a look at most of these, but not all of them. I'm going to be doing number 1 and number 3, 4, 5, 10, and 12. So number 2 and number 11 you'll have to figure out on your own. And then you can ask me questions about it in the morning. Okay? All right, let's start taking a look. All right, my first system of equations is y equals 2x plus 4 and y equals negative 5x minus 3. Okay, my y1 is my top problem. My y2 is my bottom problem. We're going to graph our first equation. Starting with the 4, and let's pause that for a second. There we go. We started with 4. We did a slope of 2 over 1, so up 2 over 1. We did also down 2 over 1 to the left. We did multiples of those so that we could make a line. My y2 in red is started at negative 3. We have a negative 5 slope, so down 5 to the right 1, up 5 to the left 1, and do that a couple of times to where we have a nice line. And we see that they intersect right here. Okay, that gives me a solution of negative 1, 2. Now, when I put this into my graphing calculator, I put those two equations into the graphing calculator, and I want to solve it with a table. So my y1 is 2x plus 4. My y2, negative 5x minus 3. Okay, so we have an x, and we have a y1 and a y2. Now, I find on my table that I have solutions at negative 1, and my y's are the same at negative 1, and they are both at 2. Now, the line above that is negative 2, 0, 7. And below it is 0, 4, and negative 3. Okay? And that is finding that solution with both the graph and the table. Okay? Let's do number 3. Okay, we have a system that is x minus 2y equals 10. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I just looked on the wrong paper. Y equals negative 2x minus 2, and 2y equals x plus 6. Sorry, I looked on the advanced paper. Let me move that out of my way so I don't look at that again. All right, y1 is my first equation. Y2 is my second equation. Let's get that worked out. So we have 2y, we're going to get that into slope-intercept form, equals x plus 6. Okay, the x is already on the proper side, so we're going to divide all of that by 2. Okay, that gives me y is equal to 1/2 x plus 3. Okay, let's graph and do a table. Let's do the table first here. Okay. There we go. Now, pause that a minute. As you saw, we started with our y-intercept at -2 for y1. And we had a slope of -2, so we went down 2 and to the right 1, did that a few times, came back, did it in the other direction, up 2 and to the left 1, and did that for several. Okay, my next equation starts at 3, okay, and that was a 1/2 slope, so that was up 1, to the right 2 for several, and then down 1 to the left 2 for several. Gave us our red line. Okay, we see our intersection right here at -2, 2. All right, and then we're going to put this into our calculator. We're going to put the -2x minus 2 for y1. y2 will be 1/2 x plus 3. We're going to look on that chart again, and we're going to go ahead and look at that where x is -2. We see that y is 2 for both equations. To show our work, above is -3, 4, and 1.5. Below is -1, 0, and 2.5. And that is all for problem 3. All right, problem number 4. Okay, let's stop and read this real quick, because these are our word problems. Number 4 says, each morning you do a combination of aerobics, which burns about 12 calories per minute, and stretching, which burns about 4 calories per minute. Your goal is to burn 416 calories during a 60-minute workout. How long should you spend on each type of exercise to burn the 416 calories? Well, let's see here. First of all, we have aerobics plus stretching should equal a 60-minute workout. And we have 12 calories per aerobic minute plus 4 calories per stretching minute should equal 416. All right, my aerobics will be my X, my stretching will be my Y. My first equation is Y1. So Y1 is aerobics plus stretching is 60 minutes. So we will solve for S, because that's going to be our Y. So I'm going to subtract A. So S is equal to -A plus 60. Y2 is 12A plus 4S is 416. I'm going to subtract my 12A. That gives me 4S is equal to -12A. plus 416. I'll divide all that by 4. That gives me S is equal to negative 3A plus 104. Okay, now, I can't graph this without it being a huge graph, so we're just going to solve this with a table. Okay, so we have X, we have Y1, and we have Y2. Okay, when I put in negative A plus 60 for Y1 and negative 3A plus 104 for Y2, I know that I can't have negative minutes, so I'm going to just scroll on down from 0 on, and I know that the most minutes I'll have is 60, so somewhere between 0 and 60 I'll find my answer. So at 22, X is 22, I find Y is 38. So that means 22 minutes of aerobic and 38 minutes of stretching. To show my work, I'm going to fill in the numbers above my answer and the numbers below my answer. Okay, so XY is equal to 22:38, which means 22 minutes aerobics and 38 minutes of stretching. Let's check ourselves. Okay, so aerobics plus stretching should be 60 minutes. So 20 plus 38 does equal 60. So that is correct. Let's check the other way. 12 times our aerobics and 4 times our stretch added together is 416. So that's 12 times 22 plus 4 times 38. And that should come out to 416. Let's see. So 12 times 22 is 264. 4 times 38 is 152. That adds together for 416. All right, let's look at our next one. All right, number 5. Suppose 28 members of your class went on a rafting trip. Class members could either rent canoes for $16 each or rent kayaks for $19 each. The class spent a total of $469. How many people rented canoes and how many rented kayaks? Well, we know that we have kayaks and canoes. So canoes plus kayaks is 28 because there were only 28 people that went. We have $16 times canoes and 19 times kayaks is $469. We're going to do just like we did a while ago, X and Y's for our C and X. Y1 is C plus K is 28. We'll subtract our C. K is equal to C minus 28, or negative C plus 28, excuse me. Okay, Y2 is 16C plus 19K is 469. We will subtract that 16C, and I get 19K is equal to negative 16C plus 469. We're going to divide by 19, So K is equal to negative 16 over 19C plus 469 divided by 19. Okay. Now, when you put this into the calculator, Y1's easy enough. K, Y, you're just going to put negative X plus 28. Okay. For the next one, you're going to put a parentheses, negative 16 divided by 19, close parentheses, X, plus, open parentheses, 469 divided by 19, close parentheses. Let me write that out for you in another color here. So you'll say Y is equal to, you'll do negative 16 divided by 19 X plus, open parentheses, 469 divided by 19, close parentheses. That's how you'll put it into the calculator. Okay? Now, when we look at our table, we know our answer is going to be somewhere between 0 and 28. Okay? So we're just going to start looking, and we will end up finding our answer at 21, and Y is 7 at 21. To show my work, I'm going to use the numbers above, and I'm going to round to 3 decimal places. And I'm going to use my numbers below, and I'm going to round to 3 decimal places. So XY is 21.7. That means I have 21 canoes, and I have 7 kayaks. Okay, so canoes plus kayaks is 28. So 21 plus 7 is 28. That checks out. And then we have 16 times canoes plus 19 times kayaks is 469. That's 16 times 21 plus 19 times 7 to give us 469. Okay, 16 times 21 is 336. 19 times 7 is 133. That gives us 469, and that all checks out. All right. On the back side, number 10, 11, and 12, it says graph and solve each system. Okay, so we're going to graph the first one. Okay, we have Y is negative 2x plus 9. And 2y is negative x plus 6. So the first one's our y1, the second one is y2. Get y2 into standard form. We're going to divide by 2. We have y is equal to negative 1/2 x plus 3. All right, let's graph these. My blue line started at 4. I mean, not at 4, but at 9. And my red line started at 3. And we put that in there, and we have one solution where the lines cross at 4, 1. Okay? Now, I want you to notice something here. My slopes for both lines are different. My y-intercepts for both lines are also different. The main thing to notice here is that my slopes, I have for y1 I have a -2 slope. For y2 I have a -1/2 slope. Okay? Because they have different slopes, that's why I have only one intersection. Okay? Now, let's look at number 12. Number 11 you're going to do on your own. Okay? Number 12 is got a little interesting twist to it. We have y plus 5 is 4x. We have 2y equals 8x plus 2. So, for y1, we subtract the 5, and we get y is 4x minus 5. We'll graph that starting at the -5 and get a 4/1 slope. y2 is 2y is 8x plus 2. Divide by 2. And that gives me y is 4x plus 1. I will put a point at 1 and do my slopes. Now, if you'll notice here, these are parallel lines. Because they're parallel lines, they never cross, so we have no solutions. How do I know they're parallel lines? This is what I want you to notice. Each line has the same slope, and they have different y-intercepts. Because they have the same slopes and different y-intercepts, they are parallel lines, and therefore will never touch and will never have a solution. Alright guys, that's it for the homework tonight. If you have questions in the morning, let me know. Have a great night.